Okay, this video is going to cover the RGB to hex conversion worksheet. Now, you should notice that I am going to give you all the answers down here at the bottom. So I just wanted to work a couple of the problems for you and kind of demo it. I think the actually just the written demonstration does a good enough job, but you know, videos can't help or can't hurt. But so anyway, if you end up going to this site right here, the RGB to hex colors, so this is the rapidtables.com site that I listed at the top of your page right here. You can see how the red, green, and blue colors, you know, go together to form. So, you know, this right here, 123 and 123 and 123 make this gray color. But if I change it, you know, let's say to 200, there's more red in it now, so it's more of a reddish gray. And then, I don't know, you can just kind of play with that. So, and see how the different colors are kind of formed. So like you got this red and blue, it kind of makes almost like a purplish color. But it's cool because it's got the different hex colors for all these. And I need to convert up here above, but anyway, that's the hex color for this red, green, and blue. So let's look at this real quick. Recall that our hexadecimal base 16 number system starts at 0 and it goes to 9, and then 10 starts at A, 11 is B, 12 is C, 13 is D, 14 is E, and 15 is F. So if we get our decimal, so this problem right here, it's giving you a hex number AC0BFF, and it's wanting you to turn it into its decimal version for its RGB color, kind of like what we just did right up here. So the way that you would calculate it is, okay, what you'd want to do is you want to break these down into two separate letters or numbers. Okay, so we have A and C. So so C is our first number right here, which is represented by a 12. So you go 12 times 16 to the 0 power, and then you add in 12 to the first times 10, because A is 10 right here. Okay, and so you end up getting 160 plus 12 is 172, so that would go right here. The next number is 0 and B. Well, B is represented by an 11, so 11 times 16 to the 0 power, and then you have 0 times 16 to the first, so 0 times anything is 0, and then you got 11, so you got 11 right there. And then finally, we have FF, which would be 15 right here. So then what do? We take 16 to the 0 power, you multiply that by 15, and you add 16 to the first power times 15. So 240 plus 15 is 255. Okay. So if we wanted to do this one here, same thing, something similar. Just kind of go through this. We got, so 11, you would do 1 times 16th. Let's see this. Where's the power? To the first power. And then we do 1 times 16th to the 0 power, and that is equal to 16 plus 1, which equals 17. So the first number there is going to be 17. Okay. And the next one, we got A and A, so what's that going to be? That's going to be A is represented by a 10, so you got 10 times 16th to the first power, and then you do, whoops, turn that off, plus 10 times 16th to the 0 power, and that is equal to 160 plus 10, so that gives us, what, 170. And finally, we have C and B. Let's see what C is represented by. C is a 12. So we've got 12 times 16 to the first power plus, and then what do we got here? What's B? B is 11, so we got 11 times 16 to the 0 power, and so that's basically, that's 192 plus 11, and so that is 203. So let's see if that's right. So I got 17, 170, and 203. 17, 170, 203. 17, 170, 203. Okay, so that would be converting the hex number, hex RGB number, to the decimal RGB value. But like always, we may want to do this backwards, where we have the decimal number and we want to turn this into hex. Okay, so let's see, 255 here. So I first convert this to binary. So so I do 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128, and so 128 is in 255, so I put that there. And so basically, if you add it all up, you would get this right here: 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. All right, and so what you do is then you break that into fours, and then you just do 1, 2, 4, and 8, and then 1, 2, 4, and 8 here. So all these are checked with their 1, so you would do 8 plus 4 plus 2 plus 1, and that is 15. And again, if you go back to this table, a 15 is represented with an F. And same here, this would be the same one. So you've got FF. If you do 100, if you convert your 100 decimal to binary, you get this number right here. 0, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, and again, you break it into half, so there's 4 over here and 4 over here, and I did this with the arrows. So do 1, 2, 4, and 8, and then 1, 2, 4, and 8. This is a 0, but this isn't on. This isn't. So when you add these all together, you add the 4 and the 2, and you get 6. And this is off, on, off, off. So if it's just 4, so that next number is 64. Okay, that's where the 64 came from. And finally, the last number is 87, the decimal. So its binary value is 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1. And so I pulled all these over here. Again, 1, 2, 4, 8, 1, 2, 4, 8. The 4 and the 1 are checked, so that's going to be 4 plus 1 is 5. And the 4 and the 2 are checked, so you got 4 and 2, and then also the 1, I didn't see that, but then you get your 7. So 57 is the last number. So I'll work this one really quick, and then you guys can do the rest on your own. Just always make sure that you're checking your work. All right, let's see here. So so for 109, I've got 128, 64, 32, 16, 8, 4, 2, and 1. And so if I were to work this out, you'd have a 0 right here, 0, and then I'd have 1, and then I would have 1, and then I'd have 0, 1, 1, 0, and 1. So then I would split this up into 4 over here and then 4 right here. Okay, so that would be, you know, I would put my 8, 4, 2, 1 right on there, and then again over here I got 8, 4, and I'm actually going to split this over a bit more now that I have that written out. So 8, 4, 2, and 1. So the 4 and the 2 are, so we got what, 4 plus 2, 4 plus 2, and that equals 6, and then we've got 8 plus 4 plus 1, which gives us what, 13. That equals 13, and 13 is represented by a D. So I will put D down. So 6D would be my first one, so 6D, comma. Okay, next up, 0. Well, that's easy. A 0 is just 0 and 0. So just make sure you put down 2 zeros. You don't even really need to work that out, because just think about it. A 0 would have zeros on all of these. And so since they're all off, there would be a 0 on this side and a 0 on that side. So that's pretty easy. A 0 is just going to be 0, 0. All right. So next, though, we've got, what, 124. And I'll put this right here just so that you guys, 109 was that one. So 124, the binary number for that, 128. We'll write it out again, 64, 32, 16, 8, 4, 2, and 1. So that's going to be, what, a 0 right here, because 124 is less than 128. So we have a 1 on there, 1 on here, 1 on 16, 1 on 8, and 1 on 4. And then a 0 and a 0. So if I break that up into its 4s, and then I can put this down here, 8, 4, 2, 1, and then I got same thing over here, 8, 4, 2, and 1, and all I do, oops, that was weird. Now all I do is just, you know, what do I add up? Well, 4, 2, and 1 are checked, so 4 plus 2 plus 1, that is equal to 7. And then 8 and 4, 8 plus 4 is equal to 12. Oops. 8 plus 4 is equal to 12. And 12 is, oops, 12 is what? 12 is C. So, C. So a trick here, when you guys do your AP test for HEX, I would just write this out. I would write these tables out, because they're probably not going to give this to you, but if you write it out, you'll remember it right away on the test, and then you can kind of start, you know, running your calculations. So anyway, this last one is what, 7C, and then I can check my answers to the second part of this, which is 60007C. 60007C. Okay. So, and I guess if they want you to write it out like that, then just do that, and that's fine. So anyway, take a look at that website I sent, and then make sure that you're working all these problems. Again, they actually look really complicated when you first start this stuff, but a lot of it's just kind of plugging and chugging and doing your math, and the steps that I've shown you either in class or through worksheets or the videos. The videos I set up are really good. But you're definitely going to need to practice these because you will be graded on them, graded tests and stuff. So, and these are, you know, layup type math problems for your AP test that if you know them, you'll get your points. If not, you'll miss them. So we got to make sure we get the easy ones, I always say. So these are the easy ones. So this video is done.